Our next speaker is Neal Galehouse. Neal Galehouse is an outreach specialist at the National Center for Pavement Preservation at Michigan State University. He is part of a team for implementation of AASHTO construction guides for pavement preservation treatments and is developing equipment management training modules. Prior to joining NCPP, Neal worked at NCDOT in units related to research and contracting.
My presentation focuses on the need for individuals and companies that are engaged in pavement preservation to be certified. I'm going to start out with a look at the issues that both agencies and the preservation industry face today. And then I'll discuss some logical steps to advance pavement preservation in the future through certification. So these pictures are examples of poor quality treatments that no one out there should ever accept. This type of work is something that's detrimental to both agency and the contracting community. And yet it seems every year we hear about treatments somewhere that have failed. In almost every case, the failure was caused by not following quality assurance procedures. Quality assurance includes quality control, QC, by the contractor, as well as acceptance and independent assurance by the agency. As part of the quality requirements for materials and design methods, there are accredited laboratories and certified or approved material sources. Now, another step in the quality assurance process is the need to certify the knowledge of the pavement practitioner. So from an agency perspective, what are the consequences of a failed preservation treatment? This isn't an all-encompassing list, but these are some of the major impacts. The first thing is it's going to adversely affect public relations. When the public sees a road in generally good condition turn into a failing mess, the agency is going to have a PR nightmare on its hands. The public is going to look at the agency's decision to construct the treatment as just a waste of taxpayer money. The second thing is that it's wasted limited funds and produced no tangible benefit. And furthermore, the agency might have to spend additional funds to remediate the problem. So additional staff time might be needed to assess the cause of the failure and determine a course of action. If it's a situation where you have a catastrophic treatment failure, you may need to bring in maintenance crews to post warning signs for motorists or even provide a temporary solution to help resolve the situation. So whatever that case might be, the agency is spending precious funds for an unplanned event. Next, depending on agency policy, you may have potential claims from motorists. So there's additional staff time and expense for processing the claim, as well as the financial implications of the claim itself. Finally, treatment failure is going to negatively affect the pavement condition rating and potentially impact the agency's asset management plan. From the contractor's perspective, a failed treatment can impact the entire contracting community who constructs that same treatment. A poor experience can make an agency reluctant to use the treatment again. When problems aren't corrected by the contractor, there's the potential that the agency could place a complete moratorium on that treatment. If that happens, there's going to be a ripple effect across the industry, and then the market for that contracting community is going to dry up. When a contractor consistently produces poor quality work, word travels quickly. The company's reputation is harmed and they get labeled as a bad contractor. As we know, a bad reputation takes a long time to rebuild. When a project exhibits early signs of failure, the agency is going to expect the contractor to make things right. Now, most of the time, the good contractors are going to correct the problems that occur, but whatever remediation steps they take is going to have an impact on their bottom line. When there's a case of a catastrophic failure, fixing the problem may necessitate use of the contractor's performance bond to meet obligations. And whenever a performance bond is paid out by the bonding company, the contractor's cumulative risk is going to increase, which in turn is going to lead to increased bond rate going forward and possibly a reduced bonding capacity. So this slide shows the causes of poorly performing paving projects in the country. It's not specific to just preservation, but highlights that most of the time, poorly performing pavements are being caused by poor workmanship. So we're at a point now in the preservation field where it's time that we certify individuals to ensure that they have the knowledge necessary to construct a successful pavement preservation project. So what is the rationale for certification? Well, first, it validates that a person is knowledgeable about the treatment. A training course or on-the-job training provides the information, but it's not guaranteeing that the information is being retained. So a certification exam is that extra step that proves that a person possesses the information necessary to produce a successful project. Second, being certified prepares employees to handle day-to-day challenges. They know how to address minor problems that occur on the job site before they turn into major ones. Third, certification helps ensure a higher and more consistent quality of work. If key contractor personnel know what they're doing, problems are less likely to arise. Agencies that certify their staff are demonstrating that commitment to delivering better quality projects. Agency staff who are certified better understand the many nuances of constructing a pavement preservation treatment. Finally, certification is going to inspire greater confidence for success for the agency and the contractor. By this, I mean that everyone knows what's expected. The contractor is going to have greater confidence in the crew's ability to do good work. The agency staff understands the acceptance process for each type of treatment. So these pictures here are examples of high-quality pavement preservation treatments. We have a microsurfacing, diamond grinding, chip seal, crack seal, and a cape seal that were done right. Today, the need has never been greater to use high-quality, cost-effective pavement preservation treatments to protect our highway infrastructure investment. So some background on the certification program. Back in 2016, the AASHTO TSP2 Oversight Panel recognized this need for certification and approved the development of a pavement preservation certification program. The idea was also endorsed by the AASHTO Committee on Maintenance and the International Slurry Surfacing Association Board of Directors. The ISSA represents contractors and suppliers working with emulsion-based preservation treatments and crack treatments. As I mentioned earlier, certification is a credible assessment of one's knowledge of a specific pavement preservation treatment. It provides verification that knowledge transfer has taken place from the training received. The authorized third-party agent in the pavement preservation field is the National Center for Pavement Preservation, located at Michigan State University. So who is recommended to take the certification exam? For agencies, we suggested include a preservation specialist from headquarters or the central office, one senior level inspector from each region, district, or division, whatever nomenclature is used by the agency, preservation treatment designer from each region, district, or division, and any outside consultants who provide inspection services. For contractors, employees should include company superintendents, foremen, operators of placement equipment, and a company trainer if one has been designated. Training for the certification exam is offered free of charge. It's provided through self-paced web-based training that is housed on the TSP2 website. Anyone can log on to the site through the link shown on the screen and review these treatment-specific training materials. So our experience has shown that it's often an advantage to do this training as a group and have a company or agency trainer or a manager lead the web-based training effort. The group will sit down and go through the training together and have further discussion about specific topics where it's needed. So this approach has yielded a high success rate when taking the exam. Shortly, there's going to be a series of best practice documents put out by the AASHTO TSP2 Emulsion Task Force. These documents are a comprehensive review of accepted practices and nationally approved AASHTO standards for each pavement preservation treatment. As these documents roll out, the training material and the exams are going to be updated to maintain consistency. The format of the exam is multiple choice and true false, and a score of 70% or higher is needed to pass. So this is a closed book, closed note exam. It is treatment specific, and the exams currently available are chip seals, slurry systems, meaning slurry seals and microsurfacing, and crack treatments. There's two versions of the exam. There's a contractor version and an agency version. Each exam is going to be a little different, but it focuses on the specific topics that a person should understand to produce a successful project. I recommend that consultants sign up for the agency exam, and if an agency constructs their own treatment, I recommend that they take the contractor version of the exam. So to sign up for an exam, you can use the link on the screen and go to tsp2.org/register and enroll in one of the exam offerings that I'll show you in just a minute. So all the exams will test a person's understanding of 7 topic areas. These include project selection, design, calibration, materials, equipment, construction, and finally, quality assurance. Beginning this year, exams are also available in Spanish. We want to ensure those who are native Spanish speakers are tested on their technical competency and not their English proficiency. The person that passes the exam is entered into a searchable database on the TSP2 website. The database can be queried at tsp2.org/certification to verify certification credentials. Examinees are also sent a certification card that looks like the one on your screen that can be shown out on the job. Once issued, the certification is valid for a period of 3 years, at which time the certification holder will need to recertify. The exams can be given in 3 ways: in person, online, and at a college testing center. First, I'm going to cover the in-person options. So exams are always offered at the TSP2 Pavement Preservation Partnership meetings that are held in each of the 4 geographic regions. Most of the exams are going to take anywhere from half an hour to an hour to complete, so we can fit that in sometime during the 2 or 3 day partnership meeting without much of an issue. Exams are also given at the ISSA Slurry Systems Workshop, which is held each January. On Friday morning after the conclusion of the workshop, which runs Monday to Thursday, we hold an exam. Finally, if you have a group taking 20 or more exams, and this is exams, not people, we will come out to your facility and administer the exams on site. The online option is something we developed last fall in response to the pandemic. If the examinee has a webcam and they're able to download and install the required testing software that's provided, and they don't need to buy or obtain a software license, we provide all that through the Michigan State University license. They can take a virtually proctored exam online. In order to maintain the integrity of the exam, software is going to lock down the computer, so they're only going to be able to display the exam on the screen. They can't do anything else on the computer while the exam's open. Before they start the exam, they're instructed to pan their webcam around their desk and the room to show that it's free of notes or exam aids of any kind. Once this is done, the webcam then records them taking the exam. So hopefully this online option is something that helps make exams more available to individuals who don't have an accessible in-person option. Finally, if the previous options don't work, a person can go to a nearby college testing center and take the exam at a remote proctored location. There's over 180 post-secondary institutions across the country that offer this service. So if this is something that you're interested in, get in touch with me and I can get you information about a center nearest you. To date, the AASHTO TSP2 certification program has administered over 800 exams and issued 563 certifications. Exams are not easy exams, but our data has shown that people who spend adequate time reviewing the training material and preparing for the exam have done very well. So the states highlighted in yellow on the map have had someone, whether an agency person, a contractor, or consultant, take the exam. So as you can see from the map, participation has been significant and there's growing interest in pavement preservation treatment certification from across the country. Finally, I want to briefly touch on another component of the certification program, which is company certification for the contractor. This certification recognizes the contractor's commitment to quality. It's treatment specific and requires an annual review prior to renewal. I'm aware of one state DOT right now that requires company certification in order for a contractor to bid on a pavement preservation project. So a critical component of company certification is to develop and submit a detailed quality control plan for approval. Quality control plan is a detailed document that might be 20 to 30 pages long, in addition to a number of supporting documentation. I'll discuss the template for a quality control plan on the next slide. On top of the QC plan, key employees must possess an active certification for the treatment. And as I mentioned before, that includes the superintendents, the foremen, and the equipment operators. The last component of a company certification involves in-house training. Each year, the contractor must submit a list of all field employees that have participated in 4 hours of treatment classroom training and 4 hours of on-the-job training during the preceding year. To be a certified company, a quality control plan must be submitted that provides detailed commentary in 9 areas to ensure delivery of a quality product. The document contains treatment-specific procedures that will be followed on all projects. It also designates the frequency of measures and the roles and responsibilities of company personnel. In essence, this document provides a clear understanding of the entire design, testing, and construction process. The complete document is something that should be brought out to the pre-construction meeting, shared between the contractor and agency, and everyone should walk out with a common understanding of the way the job is going to be constructed. Since we only have limited time, I'm not going to cover all of these, but I'm just going to mention 2 areas within the document, and that is placement and workmanship and nonconformance and corrective action. So the placement and workmanship area identifies protocols for proper workmanship, production QC activities, test frequencies, inspection methods, yield checks to verify application rates, and cleanup responsibilities, both those performed daily and those at the end of the project. The nonconformance and corrective action area defines the rules to gauge when a process is out of control and corrective action needs to be taken. So this includes inspection of faulty workmanship and test results of non-conforming materials to prevent recurrence. It spells out what corrective action must be taken to correct the issue. So that brings me to the end. I've enjoyed sharing the importance of pavement preservation treatment certification with you this afternoon. Please send in any questions you have through the question box, and I'll be happy to answer them at the end of the session. Thank you.
The preceding was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found on the web at pavementpreservation.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.